I am David, and this is my story. The palace is quieter now, but not with peace. It is the kind of quiet that comes after something has been broken beyond repair. I walk through halls I once filled with music, and every step feels heavier than it should. I thought the cost of my sin would end with Uriah. I was wrong. It did not end. It multiplied. When the prophet stood before me and spoke, I felt the truth cut through everything I had tried to hide. I confessed. I said the words. I knew I had sinned. But even as forgiveness was spoken over me, another word followed: consequence. It did not sound loud in that moment, but it stayed. It waited. Then the child became sick. I remember watching him struggle to breathe, his small body weak and trembling. I laid on the ground. I refused food. I pressed my face into the floor and asked God for mercy. I stayed there day after day, hoping something would change, hoping the outcome would shift. But deep inside, I felt it, the weight of what I had done resting on that room. When the child died, no one wanted to tell me. I could see it in their faces, their whispers, their hesitation. I asked, and they answered, "He is dead." Something inside me went still. Not peaceful, just still. I stood up, washed, and went into the house of the Lord. Not because I understood, but because there was nowhere else to go. The cost had begun, and I could not stop it. Time moved forward, but it did not heal what had been set in motion. My house began to fracture. Amnon, my son, looked at Tamar, his own sister, and desired what should never have entered his heart. I saw signs I should have addressed. I heard things I should have acted on, but I hesitated. I delayed. And in that delay, he forced himself on her. When Tamar cried out, when she tore her robe and covered herself in ash, the sound of it reached me, but I did not respond with the force I should have. I was angry, yes, but anger without action leaves damage in place. Absalom saw what I did not do. He waited. He carried the weight of his sister's humiliation, and I watched the tension build between my sons like a storm that would not break. 2 years passed, and then it did. Absalom killed Amnon. The news came quickly, but it did not feel sudden. It felt like something that had been forming long before the act itself. One son violated, another son retaliated. Blood answered blood. I had lost control of my own house. Absalom fled, and distance settled in. But distance does not remove what has already been planted. It only gives it time to grow. When he returned, he did not come back the same. Something in him had hardened. I could see it in the way he stood, in the way he spoke, in the way people were drawn to him. He positioned himself at the gate, speaking to the people, listening to their cases, winning their trust. Slowly, deliberately, he took what belonged to me, not by force at first, but by influence. And I let it happen longer than I should have. Then came the day the message arrived. The hearts of the people are with Absalom. I left Jerusalem. I did not fight for the throne in that moment. I walked away from the city I had built, the palace I had ruled, the place where everything had begun to unravel. As I crossed the Kidron Valley, I could feel the weight of every step. The same city where I had once stood in strength, I now left in retreat. Then came the report that cut deeper than any before. Absalom had gone up to the rooftop. Not just any rooftop. My rooftop. The same place where I first looked, where I first lingered, where I first crossed the line. And there, in full view, he took my concubines. Not in secret, not hidden, openly. What I had done in private was now returned in public. I did not need anyone to explain it to me. I could see it clearly, the pattern, the consequence, the unfolding of something I had started but could not control. My sons were divided. My household was broken. My authority was challenged. My name, once associated with strength, now carried the weight of failure inside my own family. And I knew this was not random. This was not isolated. This was the cost. I sit now and trace it back, step by step, not as a king, but as a man who made a decision, and then another, and then another. Each one seemed manageable at the time. Each one felt like something I could contain. But sin does not stay contained. It moves. It spreads. It reaches places you did not intend for it to go. I see my sons, and I do not just see their actions. I see the shadow of my own. I hear their choices, and I recognize the echo. What began with me did not end with me. It passed through my house like a fracture running through stone. I was forgiven. But I was not untouched. The cost did not ask for permission. It did not wait for readiness. It unfolded in real time, through real people, with real loss. And I live with it, not as a distant memory, but as something that still shapes what remains. The reference scripture is 2 Samuel 12:10-14, 2 Samuel 13:1-29, 2 Samuel 15:1-14, 2 Samuel 16:20-22.